Hi guys, my name's Adrian, and in today's video I wanted to talk a little bit about the path I went down to becoming a developer and designer. And this is the path of both my study and what I did to improve my skill set and how I got a job and all of that, because this journey that I took is a little bit unique and I sort of bounced around all over the place to get to where I am now. And if I could go back and do it a different way, I probably would have, but now in hindsight, it's a lot easier to see some of the mistakes I made and some of the ways that I could have improved on this journey. I started doing web design and development when I was already in high school, and it's something that I really enjoyed, but I didn't think that I could get a job in there, and I thought that maybe I have to get something where there's a lot more job opportunity. And when I talked to friends and family, they told me that the best opportunity was actually doing IT, doing stuff like help desk and fixing computers, because it was a field where a lot more people were slowly moving into computing and accounting and finance, and most people working were now on computers, so there would be always jobs for fixing computers. And while I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do, I didn't know at that stage. I was just finishing high school and I was planning to go to uni, and I needed to figure out what I wanted to do. When I went to university, I decided to do a Bachelor of Business. It was because, again, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to still do IT or if I wanted to try and focus in on web, but I thought if I can do a Bachelor of Business, I can possibly get a job anywhere. And I did some units in legal framework and marketing and management, but I found that I didn't enjoy any of this, and I thought that I needed to swap my study from doing a Bachelor of Business to doing something different. So I actually swapped to a CS degree. I did a computer science degree, and I went through there and I enjoyed it a little bit more. I was working with technology such as wireless and frameworks and understanding how systems work in networking. And while it was more IT related, it was something that I enjoyed a lot more than doing a Bachelor of Business. So in that point of view, I sort of almost forgot about doing what I loved. And at that time, I still loved doing web and design and development, but I thought maybe this isn't a job that I can actually get, and maybe I have to really be realistic about the opportunities I can get. So that's why when I started out, I continued my CS degree, and I did that for 3 years. I completely finished it. And towards the end, I was getting to the point where I didn't enjoy it anymore, and I decided to start working immediately. And I got a job in help desk fixing computers, and again, I didn't really enjoy it, but it was better than my studies, so I thought that I was happy. But at that point, I really wasn't. I still was going back home and I was fiddling around with doing development. I was doing tutorials online and practicing and having fun, building little projects, but I didn't take it seriously again. And over time, over the next 5 years of slowly working in IT and stuff like that, not enjoying it, I really didn't know where to go from there. And that's where I decided to maybe do some freelancing. And this is where I reached out to friends and family and I said, hey, I can build a website. Maybe I can build something for you. And this is how I got into web design and web development. It was a roundabout path because I didn't actually study anything in design and development. I just sort of played around with different projects and stuff on my own. And this was doing all sorts of tutorials and all sorts of little things on YouTube where I would have a look at how you do to-do lists and all of that jazz and trying to do it myself. What I found was that 5 years of experience where I was just building things on my own as a hobby for web design and development actually took me to a point where I was able to build out full websites. And when I got my first job, or I suppose freelance work through a friend, then I was able to do a great job for that, and I was really proud of that. But looking back on it, it probably looks like a junior developer, and that's probably where I was at that point in time. But that self-study that I did myself actually took me to the first stepping stone of getting my first job, and that led into another and another. And as I did more freelance work, my reputation grew and my skill sets grew as well. And that's where the word of mouth helped me get some opportunities to actually get a real job in web development and design, and it's taken me to where I am now. Now, I know going back and looking at this pathway, I should have probably gone to uni or done a course straight in web design and followed my dreams, but it's really hard to do that when you don't know what you're planning to do when you're young. And I guess my advice to people starting out is that if this is something you guys are passionate about, if you're passionate about development and design and learning to code and making websites and apps and all of that, then put your heart and soul into it, study it. As well as when you're young, you still have the opportunity to be able to do that. And when you're older, it's still possible to swap careers. I did so, and I had been doing IT for I think 5 or 10 years. And during that time, I really didn't think it was possible to swap to a web development career, but I did do it, and it is possible. And if you put in the time, if you put in the effort, and you really care, you will be able to do it yourself. Anyway, this is my journey of how I did design and development, and it was a roundabout way. And if I could go back, I definitely would have just gone straight into what I wanted. But otherwise, it's still possible, even if you're in a different career now. I hope this gave you a bit of things to think about if you're thinking about doing that. But otherwise, my name is Adrian, and I love doing videos on design and development. So if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.